And we are live.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
Happy day.
Back to the podcast.
I love that that's your intro opening. I like
Literally
that.
every
Welcome
single.
back.
Oh, so my inspiration for that is Jeffree Star.
I love him.
Literally I'm obsessed.
I respect the hell out of Jeffree
I'm obsessed,
Star.
but literally every time he puts out a video, he's like, "Welcome back
I know he's so dramatic.
to my channel,"
I'm
and I
here
love
for
it. I love
I'm here
it.
for
Like
it.
the sass. I'm just here for it. So I'm just like, I want to be like you when I grow up.
Hell yeah.
Mostly meaning like a near billionaire.
Yeah.
'Cause if he isn't, he's close to it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Have you seen his life now where he lives on the ranch and just
The
has a bunch
ranch?
of yaks or
Yeah.
whatever? Oh my God.
I just
that's
don't
so
understand.
Awesome.
So I saw an interview he put out the other day, which is kind of controversial, but
All of his stuff has been pretty
I want
controversial
to full
lately.
send it and talk about it because I'm kind of curious on what you think. Because I know we had a conversation about this on a podcast that we decided to not put out.
Yeah.
So he basically said, like, he is a member of the LGBTQ plus community. I think that's the politically correct title.
And he made fun of all the letters and shit too.
Well, so he was talking about it, and they're like, well, because he routinely wears makeup, and he kind of dresses
That's his career.
as a female sometimes.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, I don't think I'm a female. I'm not trans. I'm a male. I was born a male.
Yeah.
You're either a male or a female. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand all
He's
of
doing
these.
a lot of podcasts too
He's like,
now.
there are two genders. There's male and there's female. I don't understand this. People who say that they don't agree with either gender. Like, there are people now that use like the Xeno.
I don't even know. I can't keep up. I don't know. What
There
it
are
is
so
now.
many.
Like, I don't know what that means.
I saw like a TikTok or something of this person who, as they were like explaining their pronouns or explaining themselves, it was a solid 30 seconds. Like if I had to explain myself,
like, you lost me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I am a female. Like, I have my sexual orientation. So mine would be like, you know,
I mean, like,
three words.
Shoot me an email then, like describing it, please.
Right, like mine would be
make
like 3 words. But this person's, like, all of their pronouns and stuff it was like 15 seconds. And most of these pronouns sound like, did you ever watch Futurama? Mm-hmm. So there was an episode of Futurama where there was like a new god, quote unquote, in the universe. And it was this like alien thing. But the pronouns were like skleem and sklurm.
Oh yeah.
And that's just the point that I feel like,
Oh no.
I don't know. I'm just so concerned for our society. I talk about the movie Idiocracy a lot. And there's just some things that I'm like, so many aspects of our current culture are just asinine.
Yeah, they're starting to call it like a mental illness.
Well, like,
almost.
I am a firm advocate that as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else, you
Yeah.
live the life that you want to live.
Yeah, but
right?
you can't
Like,
force it on me.
if you want to dress up like a pony,
Yeah.
and it doesn't affect me and you're not hurting people and you're not forcing other people to dress up as a pony,
Yep.
then what do I care? It
Yep.
doesn't affect me.
Exactly.
However, like, please don't get personally offended if I don't refer to you with the proper pony pronoun that you may want to use. Like,
Right.
and I know that's a broad overgeneralization, but I just, like, I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I live in the South. Like, we yes ma'am and yes sir to people.
Right, and we were talking about that before. I don't know if it was that episode.
It was that
Was
episode,
it? Yeah, because
and-
I naturally say yes, ma'am, yes, sir, especially since moving down here.
Yeah.
So, and we were talking about how people can easily, and people get offended
I
if you
have-
like say that.
I have offended people, and now
Yeah.
it's to a point where, like, I've tried to, like, break that habit. And thankfully, we live in the South where, like, people are mostly understanding and considerate of those kinds of things. But I've had people where I'm like, oh, yes, ma'am, absolutely. And it's like, oh, I don't identify as a female.
Right.
And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
and
I won't ever do it again.
Yeah.
But I think that's the way that you should handle that. Like, if you don't like the way someone describes you, quickly correct them.
Yep.
And then
give them the opportunity to learn.
Yeah, and then
to
move along.
Understand. Yeah. That's what my brother was saying.
But
that 'cause
please
my,
don't expect me to call you by 15 different
Yeah, no.
pronouns, because
My-
that just seems ridiculous to me.
Yeah, my brother is friends with a lot of, I guess, members of the LGBTQ community. And I was talking to him about this over Christmas break. I was back home, and he was dating, I think, I hate to not remember, but I don't remember. He was dating someone that identified as something that, you would mistake them for a different gender. And he was just explaining to me, saying like, and I was like, because my mom was talking about, she was like, I didn't know how to address this person. Mm-hmm. And my brother was like, it's okay that you don't know how to address them. They understand that. They know that. They accept that. All you got to do is kind of ask like, hey, how do you identify if you don't know? Or, and I was like, well, yeah, but it's also on them to be like, I'm not a chick. I don't identify as a chick. This is what you can call me instead. No problems whatsoever.
Yeah. There are people
understand.
now that get offended if you ask. So
I know.
it's
and at that point, you're just like,
it's like, okay, how do you
like,
identify yourself? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not going to respect you. If you attack me for not knowing your pronoun right off the bat, like, I'm not going to give a fuck after that, Yeah. And like, fuck you. You can be whatever you want, but I'm going to
you don't even get to exist to me anymore.
Yeah. Like, I don't care. I'm not going to give you the respect. If you're not going to respect me in that conversation, I'm not going to give you the respect back. So.
Correct.
And that's where they lose it, is because it's starting, like, the aggression about it. No one's going to listen to you.
I know right now, aggressive. Like, I've talked to a couple of my friends about it, but there's so much controversy over, like, Bud Light.
Yes. Oh my God. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that?
Marketing, I own a marketing agency.
Yeah.
Like, marketing is what I do for a living.
For everybody back home, I have a marketing degree. She owns an agency. Like, we do this every single day. I
love a good marketing campaign. Mm-hmm. One of the entire points of a marketing campaign, though, is to know your target audience.
Yeah.
No offense to Bud Light, but my opinion and impression of Bud Light was that's always like the good old boy beer, right? Like, I mean, I'm not going to drink a Bud Light.
I mean, you see the people that drink Bud Light, they're fucking burly.
Well, in the like 90s and 2000s, they had that like manly man, like ad campaign and stuff.
I didn't know about that.
Well, they've always like promoted themselves. So they have hired a new like CEO.
Oh, you fucked up. Immediately fired.
Who she is trying to promote their beer to the LGBTQ plus community. Yes.
You hired a girl CEO for a male-dominated industry.
I actually don't have a problem with that. Bud Light could hire me as their CEO, and I feel like I would knock that one out of the ballpark because you have to understand who are your demographics. Like, when I meet with customers, that's the extent of our first couple of conversations. Who are your target demographics? Who do you win well with?
My hair be flying everywhere.
Well, it's because of the fan, I think.
I know.
But
yeah, your target demographic.
You've got to know your target demographic. If you, as Bud Light, they're not going to want to go after the hipsters who drink IPAs.
No. Or like sours. Yeah. No.
You have to know your target audience. I don't know. I mean, other than like.
So is Bud Light under Anheuser-Busch, right?
Yeah.
That's what. So now that's the thing too, is everyone's not drinking everything under Anheuser-Busch either. Like Busch Light.
Oh yeah.
Michelob.
There are a lot of people
at the bar that did research. Like, because I also bartend.
Kid Rock did an entire.
Yeah, I hate hating on them. But I also bartend part-time, and the moment that came out, I got back to work, and the amount of people that I normally I know what they drink. I just pop a Bud Light for them and throw it down. They're like, oh, no.
Not drinking that anymore.
And then they'll go to like, I think they switched to Miller Lite. And isn't Miller Lite still under Anheuser-Busch? Or is that different?
So I don't exactly know.
I think Coors is like the only.
I think there are two like major beer distributors now.
Yeah, the smart people, well, not smart, I guess, but if you're going to do your research and not drink Bud Light anymore or not support Anheuser-Busch,
check
Coors
which
Light,
other ones.
Coors Light's the one to go, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what all my patrons told me. I work in a bar. I work with alcohol. I did not even know what was under Anheuser-Busch.
Well, and I mean, I think it's kind of ridiculous, but also it's part of like a good marketing ploy. You have to know your target audience. I talk about this all the time because right at the start of like COVID, when COVID was really going crazy, I think it was Match.com started what still to this day are my favorite marketing campaigns because it's literally this woman going out on a date with the devil, which like people had a lot of hate for that. But it's basically they're like going out on a date and there's like a lava like river going past them, and they're just like, everything's fine, but it's basically like, the world's going to shit. Hurry up and find the person you want to be with.
Oh my God, I love that. See, what I really like about a marketing campaign, and this is something that I will always stand by, you never bring politics into it. I would truly say, depending on what industry you're in, especially if it has nothing to do with politics, like your company is not involved in politics for the most part, you can support certain movements and certain, but when you get political, you're unfortunately, this is how it works. When you get political, you're starting to divide. You polarize. You divide people.
That's the big conversation I have with my clients. If this is not an industry that requires you to be polar and to have a polar opinion on something, you should never have a polar opinion on something. But
you sell fucking beer.
If you look at Bud Light, who has been your historic target demographic? Historically, who are the people that help you pay your bills?
Yeah.
Those are the people, or people like that you need to market to.
I want to know how much money they lost.
Oh, I saw something the other day that said they're down like $6 billion in market share right now.
I heard that, I don't know if you told me this, but I heard that they did that campaign to start like to attract people to another beer. Was it Corona? Oh, I thought I heard something that they did that campaign.
I mean, it did come from me.
I think it came from Reen, honestly.
I don't know.
I remember. It was the last boat day we did that we were talking about it. And
I think it's comical to me coming from like the marketing industry and knowing what I know and just being ooh, like as much as I see like a good marketing campaign that I just love, it has the equal opposite reaction when I see one and I'm like, ooh, that one's not going to hit. Like I wonder how Post Malone, because he's the last person that I can recall that's like a young modern person that like really promotes Bud Light, because that's his big beer that he drinks. So I'm curious on like, I doubt he's going to take a polar opinion on this, but
it would be smart that he didn't, because he has a lot of fans.
It's just one of those that I'm like, bold strategy, Cotton.
I know. Oh my God. But yeah, like keep politics out of it.
Maybe not the best idea, but that's some little
and
interesting.
Fire that fucking CEO. She fucked up. I mean, and I didn't say she fucked up because she's supporting trans. I say she fucked up because that was not the right campaign to make money for your company.
Go after the LGBTQ community.
She's trying to open up the market for Bud Light.
I don't think historically that demographic are people that are going to want to drink what I'm going to consider, I'm sorry, but a trash beer. Like if I have the option between drinking Bud Light or water, like... I'm going to go with water. If I've got an option between like Bud Light or almost any other beer, but I'm not a fan of Bud Light. So
it may have worked for beers that weren't as popular, because Bud Light because Bud Light is such a staple for literally like the opposite.
The redneck beer
community. Like it's literally that is probably the worst beer you probably could have chosen.
So not only are you probably not going to land with the demographic that you're going after, because they probably don't, if you're going after people who drink IPAs or wine or like mixed drinks, they're not going to drink your beer just because you're taking that stance and supporting their movement.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is you're going to lose the good old boys who keep your doors open.
Literally the day ones.
I'm curious.
Bud Light's like the first thing you drink when you're 14 years old. I'm curious on
what they lost in the market share, because I thought it was
go ahead
like
Google.
Like $6 billion.
I would not be surprised if it was that much.
Yeah. Bud Light market share loss. So their sales, according to this, $4 billion.
Dude, that's so much money.
And this was 8 days ago, so it's probably even more than that now. But they've lost...
and guess what? Those people... I wonder how long that train's going to last. Like, I wonder how long the Bud Light drinkers aren't going to drink Bud Light anymore.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know if they really
they're
care.
Like the poster person of that ad campaign does not look like someone that drinks Bud Light. Someone that looks like they drink wine in a bubble bath. Because
if they were smart for their company and want to make money, they would take all that shit off the shelves as fast as possible. And I'm not saying it, and I'm not saying fuck that. I'm saying your job as your CEO is to make money for your company. You fucked up. Majorly.
And how much work are you now going to have to do to get your market share back?
Shit. Yeah, and guess what? You lost for lifers. Like, doing that. And unfortunately, you lost for lifers doing that.
Well, and I've seen that go, both ways, because Chick-fil-A Chick-fil-A had a huge, when they came out with their like pro-Christian movements and stuff. So they're like,
Yeah.
they're supporting kind of anti that community like campaigns, like political campaigns. They ended up losing a bunch of money, but they also like one of their target demographics are like the Christian community who doesn't mind the fact that they close on a Sunday. So
that is kind of
when
sad.
you look at their market share that they lost, it's not nearly the same like split.
But you can kind of like, at some
I
point it's
don't
like,
understand
you
why
respect
big
the fuck out of
businesses
that.
like that you don't take, like we said, you don't take a polar stance.
Yeah.
Like I
y'all are still
joke
gonna eat
around
fucking
with people.
Chick-fil-A.
I joke around with people all the time with my customers that are in the South. I'm like, there are 3 things that I don't talk about or don't promote down here. We don't do football or sports. We don't do religion, and we don't do politics, because those are the 3 hot topics
Polarizing.
that will polarize the hell out of your community, because we're in an area that are very, like, you pick A or B. There is
Yeah.
no A point B.
I totally understand that CEO trying to open up a new market for Bud Light.
It's admirable, but she probably should have
But
done.
how about you do that geographically? Like,
She probably
try
should
not
have
to do
done
it
some
in
more
ads.
market research on that
Yeah.
to like try to see. That ad, the whole campaign just doesn't
like,
seem like one that had a lot of market research.
That has to pass through many people. You have to have people be like, yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, it's a good idea. What
Well,
the
you
fuck
have
y'all
you
doing?
have a CEO who gets to bring in her own team, who are of course going to be like,
Oh.
yeah, this is an amazing idea, gassing it up, let's go.
You're all fired.
So
Anyway.
I'm curious to see how it works out for them.
Yeah. That was a good topic. We should, I honestly forgot that was going on, like, but I hear about it every single day that I go into work. And
Speaking,
we'll do that sometimes too. Like the people that used to drink Bud Light, like right at the beginning, the guys will do this to them. They'll walk in, they'll pop the beer and throw it down to them, and like it's already open, so like they have to drink it. So they drink it. Like they're like, nope, and they roll. Like our Bud Light sales have been down so much, and I only know this because when I stock beer, it's like still all there.
yeah,
But all the Miller Lights are gone. Like,
y'all will end
and
up.
I thought.
Y'all will end up with a lot of Bud Light that has to get tossed because it doesn't get sold by its sell-by date.
Yeah, I mean, people still drink it. It's just kind of taboo.
Well, some people
almost
don't
now.
care,
Like,
and I respect the people
Yeah.
that are just like, you know
Right.
what? I don't really care. That's the beer. It's the beer that I like to drink.
Yep.
But I'm.
Yeah, y'all a little sus.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Okay.
Well, there was something that you wanted to talk about. You had a girls' dinner last night.
Yeah, I was talking
Sick
to.
invite, by the way.
I did invite you, bitch.
I know.
You're like, I don't want to drive all the way to Mobile.
It's so far.
It was pretty far. But so Blythe and I were talking about this, and it's kind of just more so. It's not really a topic to talk on extensively, but I was going to ask you. So she brought up the topic of hush money, and she goes, and I was like, hush money? Like, what do you mean by that? And because we were talking about, she used to date older men too, and we were talking about how like we have no problem, and then we have no problem dating older, and then it started getting into like what happens in like rich people life and stuff, and then she was saying how like people with money, you know, if someone paid me to be hush hush about something, like if someone came to me and be like, hey, here's $500K to keep your mouth shut about like, she used a crazy example that I'll tell you off camera, but like I don't know, let's say you witnessed a murder and someone comes up to you and be like, hey, and they throw you money to like be hush hush, you'd probably take it, wouldn't you? And it goes down from like, hush money
I guess
about
it
like
depends on
cheating.
your morals and your ethics. Yeah, no,
The karma's a bitch, but like,
well,
it's $500K.
I've joked around about this. I think I've joked around about it on the podcast too, where like I still to this day will have like married dudes hit me up on Instagram.
Yeah, send them a Venmo.
And
be
it's
like,
people
hey.
that I know are married. And for a while I was making a joke because I was like, I'm about to start blackmailing these people. Like you're not going to hurt my feelings because I am the type of woman though, like I'll send screenshots to a wife.
Yeah. Oh,
Like I
it's-
don't
yeah.
encourage that kind of stuff. I will very quickly, because I mean we're like FBI agents, right? And like we live in a mostly small community.
Yeah.
But I've had people that are married like slide into my DMs, and I'm like, "What about your wife?" And they're like, "Well, what she doesn't know doesn't have to hurt her." I'm like, "Well,
Oh,
just so
so
you know, I'm
shitty.
about to send some screenshots."
That's when I send my Cash App link and I go, give me $50 or I'm telling your fucking wife.
I don't see. One, that's blackmail and extortion, so you can actually go to jail for that. I had an attorney friend of mine confirm that.
Really?
Yeah.
You're like asking about it first before you do that.
I made a joke about it, and like I was talking to one of my friends who's an attorney, and I was like joking around. I was like, I'm about to make my Christmas bonus this year by blackmailing by like telling these men they can cash or Venmo me $500. I'm going to tell their wives. He's like, yeah, so that's blackmail and extortion. When you ask for money in exchange for something, you can actually get in big trouble for that.
When you ask for money in exchange for something, you mean when you threaten?
Yeah.
Oh, when
So
you
if you
threaten
say,
something and don't get
if you
money.
don't pay me, I'm going to ruin your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's extortion. So
Damn.
So instead, I just send the screenshots to the wives. But the problem with that, or like girlfriends
Do
or
we get
whatever
nothing
else,
out of it then?
well,
It's like-
the problem with that as females is we will so often shoot the messenger. So
Yeah.
like I have done that with a few different people where I'm just like, hey, or like when I was on Tinder and Hinge, when I was like doing the research for the podcast for the
yeah.
few weeks that I was on there, I can't tell you how many dudes I saw that were married on there.
Yeah.
And I took like 2 screenshots for, you know, friends of mine who I saw their boyfriends. And I'm like,
Man.
and I would do it innocently enough because I'd be like, hey, did you and so break up? And they'd be like, no, why? And I'd be like, oh, well, this is really weird. And then when the response is like, why do you ask? And it's like, well, someone must have made, and I play dumb, someone must have made a fake account for him on like Tinder or Hinge. Here's a screenshot. I just wanted to let you know. But when that shit is linked to people's socials, like if it's linked with their Instagram,
Oh, that's the person for sure. It's
yeah, you
verified.
can't link it. That's like a verified thing now.
Well, and now on Tinder and Hinge and dating apps, they have like a verified sticker. Like,
Well,
so if their
and
account's verified.
I didn't know this, but the attorney friend of mine was telling me because he uses the dating apps. He was like, yeah, well, there's now settings on there where it based off of your social media, it won't show you people that you either have their phone number or they have your phone number
You
in
can
their
block phone
phones,
numbers. Yep.
or like social media stuff. So now there are options to like limit your who sees your account to people that don't readily know you.
Yeah. You can actually block your contacts on there. So
Yeah.
like you attach your contacts to the app and just block every number on there. So like, you know,
Correct.
everybody associated with you couldn't possibly find you for your girlfriend to fucking find you.
So
Assholes.
I would do it in like a nice enough way, but I know if the shoe was on the other foot and like someone saw my dude on a dating app, I would want them to let me know. And that's happened to me
Yeah.
before.
So like
I mean, that's definitely happened to me
Girls.
before with a guy that I was like dating and talking to. And then one of my girlfriends was just like, hey, aren't you talking to him? Like, what happened here? And I'm like, well, not anymore.
if you're with a scumbag that would make a dating app while he's with you, why the fuck are you with him? Like, you gotta
But why
know,
are you
but
going to
at
get
this-
mad at the people that tell you? Like,
yeah,
why
no.
is that something
Yeah, you
that,
can't do
like,
that.
if another girl, like the girl that messaged that to me, I was like, oh, fuck, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea. Thank you so much for letting me know. And they're like, it's fine. Let me know if you want to get drinks and cry over the situation. I'm so
it's the
sorry.
same. It's the same thing about getting mad at the mistress.
yeah.
Like, so like, okay,
now,
so
the
now,
the exception to that
now-
I'll say,
yeah.
hold on, is if the girl knows, because there are girls that
Yeah, if
will
you know you're a piece of
intentionally
shit.
go after dudes that are in a relationship, or like the ones that's like, he's gonna leave his wife for me.
the homewreckers, yeah.
Dude, if he's gonna leave his wife for you, what in good God's name makes you think that he is not going to leave you one day for the next girl?
And what do you have
Or
to
the
offer?
next, or the
What do you
next.
have to offer him? What, your pussy? That you think you have such a good blowjob or that you fuck really well? No man gives a fuck about that. Like, no man is going to leave a woman just because, like, leave her. I'm saying they may cheat on you, but they're not going to leave this woman and be with you just because you have better head game.
Yeah.
Or you do this better than she does sexually.
Well, and
Men
I
don't
know
care about that.
I know there's a lot of like I've read a bunch of articles and stuff about men who cheat, and like there are a lot of men who will do stuff like that, but the rate of men who come to like really regret leaving their wife for the mistress, like especially if they've got, because they'll get bored, right? Like home life gets really stagnant and
They get comfortable
boring.
and the wife doesn't sleep with them because they're not
Well,
doing shit.
yeah, the wife isn't really trying as hard anymore, but you have to think like, okay, wife takes care of 2 kids. She's taking
Yeah.
care of the household. Like she's holding everything down while you're
She's
off
his
working.
best friend. Like, he
Absolutely.
goes to her for emotional
so,
support
like,
all the time.
if you aren't, as a man, helping your wife with some of the household stuff, you have to understand, like, her attraction to you if you are being treated or leveled up as, like, another kid, right? Because a lot of times men, they'll come home, they won't help with dinner, they won't help with the kids. They're just another emotional expense.
Yeah.
Or, like, mental expense.
Another child.
Do you really think your wife wants to fuck you?
Yeah.
Like, men...
and all you got to do is flirt with her and romance her and take her on
and
dates.
Help.
Yeah.
Help a little bit. Come home.
If I'm
do the
not working,
dishes. Help cook dinner. Bring dinner home. Put the kids in the bathtub.
Just like take the trash out.
Give her a couple minutes. But if you're not routinely doing stuff like that, you can't get mad at your wife not being physically attracted to someone that, in an emotional sense, is another child to her. Like, don't get pissed off. So these men will get bored with their wives. Or, you know, they'll want to kind of, and then they have this new girlfriend who's super fun and she's really exciting and everything's new and she's young and she's fun and we don't have all this baggage.
Yeah.
But now you're leaving the wife, the mother of your kids, the person that was there to support you for this new person. And, like, the amount of, like, stories and articles I hear and I read where people are just like, a couple years later, you know, they so desperately want their lives back and they're like, what the hell did I do? Because now you don't get to see your kids every day. Now you don't get your kids for all the holidays. Now you've got this girlfriend
you don't have that family sense anymore.
Yeah, now you've got this girlfriend
you build
who probably doesn't have the same, like, level-headedness as your wife.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, you can't get mad at the chick that sleeps. So, like, if your boyfriend cheats on you.
And he lies.
Well, yeah, I mean. But sleeps with this girl. Like, I've had this happen before where the guy I was seeing messed around with another girl, and I actually knew the girl, but she didn't know we were seeing each other.
I know this situation.
Yeah, well, I'll tell him. And yeah, she didn't know we were seeing each other because we just didn't go public with it. And
because your dude wanted to keep everything on the down low, right?
I mean, we just didn't do the social media thing really, too. But and I literally, it's so fucked. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell this whole story because
I'm ready.
This is a good damn story, and y'all will love this. But so we actually planned a girls' weekend in Pensacola. So I had just met this girl. She was very close with one of my very close friends. So she was invited, and we were going out to have a weekend in Pensacola. And I find out literally the night, like the day of that we were leaving for Pensacola, that he was talking to this girl. And it was because she was telling one of my best friends, like, hey, look who I'm talking to. And then it got back to me. And she's like, Emma's been seeing him for so long. So, she did the right thing. She, like, or this is what she told us. She, like, deleted him off of everything, said, oh, I don't want any part of that, like, whatever. I don't want to get messy with it. I was like, great. And that's what she told me. So I was like, okay, great. And so I actually go out of my way to message her because we had not talked. And I go out of my way to message her. I was like, hey, just to let you know, I respect you for deleting him, blocking him off. And he blew her shit up, dude. Like, saying, like, why aren't you texting me back? Like, all this stuff. Like, blew her up about it. And I was like, okay. So I messaged her and I was like, thank you for, I guess, deleting him, whatever, not talking to him anymore. Is that I'm not mad at you whatsoever. I told her, let's have a good girls' weekend. You had no idea. So I'm not going to, like, I still like you as a person. We've had fun. Like, we went out before and had fun. So I was like, we've had fun before. Like, it's not a problem between us whatsoever. Girl didn't even open it. She deletes me on Snapchat. So I messaged her on Snapchat because I didn't have her number. She doesn't even open it. She deletes me on Snapchat. So, okay, so, like, we get to Pensacola, and we get in our Airbnb, and she immediately, like, hates on me. Like, I walk in with my friend, and my actual, like, best friend at the time. We both drove there together, and we got there, and she was so nice to everybody but us. There was, like, 5 or 6 of us. She was like, oh, my God, so good to see you, like, hugging everybody. And then it gets to us, and she just kind of, like, looks at us and, like, hey, guys, and, like, walks off. I'm like, great. Because I know women. Like, I don't like drama. I don't like confrontation. But, like, I also don't like when y'all do it. Like, I don't like when other people have problems. Like,
yeah.
It's like, get it together. Figure it out. It's not that serious. So I was like, great. So it's going to be that weekend. Like, And she was just passive aggressive the whole weekend and whatever. And then
I'm so curious though, is like what happened on the back end of that? If he's one of those dudes who was like messaging her and finally got through to her and was like, look, I've never dated this girl. She's crazy. She stalks me. She like reaches out to these other girls. Cause that's kind of like what I'm thinking happened.
like he told her that.
Yeah. I'm
No,
assuming.
because I cut him off after that. And then he messaged me the next day. Like he said, have a good weekend in Pensacola. Like texted me that night, that Friday night. And I didn't respond. And then he saw, I was posting on my story that I was out with her, and he saw it and he goes, fuck, like, probably. And he texted me a book the next day saying like, I saw that you were out with so-and-so. I just want to apologize. I messed up. I fucked up. I choose you. I want to be with you. And like,
So why is he still blowing her shit up then though?
he wasn't at that time. Like he was when they found out, or when she cut him off. Like, so she had cut him off like days before we went, but I didn't find out till the day of that we went. So it had been a few days since he talked to her. But yeah, it was crazy. And then we all went out, and I don't know, she just got into a fight with my friend, verbal argument, and then I had enough. And I told her, I was like, we're not doing this shit all weekend. Like, I literally, and this is how I handle shit. Like, she was literally backing her into a fucking corner in our Airbnb. I was like, this is ghetto as fuck. Stop. I was like, and she's like getting loud, like all hands in her face kind of thing. And I'm like, dude. And so I walk in. My friend's so short. She was so little, like literally 5'4", like little. And then this girl's like getting all up on her. And then I walk in and I'm like, dude, we're not doing this weekend. We are not fucking doing this on girls' weekend. Are you joking? Like, and then I just like just fucking stop. You're like a dog just barking.
I know the best part
Stop.
of this story is a few months later, we went out with one of our guy friends and he invited her out as his date. And that was when we found out that apparently our guy friends don't talk about the girls that they are sleeping with,
hang out with,
quite frankly. So yeah, if you've got like, we've got some,
man,
what's the word? Slutty? I'm just going to say it. We've got some slutty guy friends.
Yeah, that's fine.
They get around.
Guys can be sluts.
So I'm not saying they can be, but I'm saying they are. So we had a question pop up from one of the viewers who's probably left because we didn't get to address it. So,
dude, my chat's not working.
Why do you think young men of today are more often opting out of dating? Because modern dating sucks.
I think.
I mean,
I think it's propaganda. I honestly think people are talking too much shit about relationships, and especially men. Like now, you have the whole push for masculinity and like Andrew Tate kind of stuff. Like that stuff's getting pushed to where it's like you don't need a woman. It's kind of like almost feminism, but in like the man side of it.
Masculism. I want to hear from the people in our chat on like, I think it's a great question. Why are young, and we don't even just have to say young men, like why are young people today opting out of dating? Because I think it's very smart for a young man to opt out of dating for a while, to get his bag, to, I don't know, go to school, get his bag, build his career, get fulfilled. Well, I think that's important on both sides of the spectrum. Like, I think it's important. I think it's more important for, I think, okay. Our value is held in different areas. Well, so when you're in high school. So it's not equally as important for women. I think it's good to like, I don't think it's good for kids to get into serious relationships when they're in high school. Like, that's not going to go anywhere, quite frankly. That's typically not the person you're going to marry. It's just going to cause, like, chaos and drama. So, like, when I was in high school... I think it's good for social development. I think it's good for, like, character development. I think it's good to learn. But you can learn that through casual dating. I don't necessarily think it's great for, like, younger kids to get into, like, serious relationships at, like, 16, 17. Now, when you're in college, I think college should be the times where that's really where you start to invest yourself more in that relationship. Because I think it's more logical to say you might end up with your boyfriend from college rather than your boyfriend from high school. So, like, in terms of, like, getting married and stuff. But I think modern dating right now is so heavily pushed on, like, the virtual stuff. Mm-hmm. But everyone puts their shit online. Like, everyone posts their lives online. So, for example, and I know I joke about this, but I've got a couple of girls on my Instagram who, like every week they have a different Man Crush Monday.
Yeah.
And they don't go through and like remove this stuff, so anyone that scrolls through their profile can see like everyone
Well, you
that
also
they've
have,
dated.
you got to think of the rise of things that have been going on. So on the women's side, there's been the rise of OnlyFans, and men are, and I'm sorry, but this is how men are seeing that men don't want to date women just because feminism has been pushed so much. Women are so out there with being promiscuous and being available sexually in ways people can just pay for.
Well, they want
so
it.
now men are like, and the thirst trap kind of situation. So social media and other apps like that are coming up, and men see that as, oh, I'm never going to find a good girl because all they do is this and that, and I don't want
It's not
that.
just men. It's not just men. Because on the flip side of that, women have the things where you have boys. I don't even want to call these men. You have the boys who like idolize Dan Blitzerian. And they're like, why do I have to
Bilzerian.
settle? Huh?
It's Bilzerian.
However you say
Bilzerian.
it. So you have dudes that idolize this man. And like Andrew Tate, you have...
I haven't heard a lot about Dan Bilzerian in a long time.
I don't think
that was kind of a 2016.
I don't think he's... I want to finish though. So you've got boys who like idolize him and say, why should I have to settle for one girl when I can have 20 different ones, right?
Because y'all don't make 6 figures. 7 figures.
Y'all don't make 6 figures, but if you're attractive and you've got at least decent game, I mean, the dude that you were talking to, for example, he's not making crazy money.
Right.
But they have this mindset of, and I dated a guy like this, nothing's ever good enough. And he literally told me on like one of our early dates, he was like, no, I just want to be like, he's like, I envision myself one day having a boat, having a yacht, and then just having it full of ridiculously attractive women. And I'm like, okay, that's a cute goal to have when you're a boy.
Yeah.
But like eventually as a man, I think it's time to like grow up, settle down, and have a partner.
Guys are also learning from Andrew Tate and Dan Bilzerian and a lot of influencers like that. And that's where Passport Bros come from.
Yeah.
So they're starting to actually pull away from what Americans see as dating and marriage. And they're starting to see like, hey, I can have that. I can go overseas and find a pure woman. I can do this, and that. And so I just think that too plays a part in it. But definitely the rise of Andrew Tate kind of pushing men to get their bag and not fuck with
and
these kind of girls.
You have a much higher rate of women right now, and I see it all the time. Women who call themselves high quality because they're attractive. Being attractive does not make you high quality.
No.
Unless you have unless you're a 9 or a 10. And let's preface this. 9s and 10s have modeling contracts.
Yeah.
These are women who are very top echelons of society for their looks. So unless you are gorgeous enough to have a modeling contract, I'm sorry, girl, you're not a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
So you don't get to use your looks as what makes you a high quality female.
Have we talked
Something
about
that involves sex does not make you a high quality female. I don't care how good your head game is. Guys don't care about that, and girls that brag about that more times than not are going to turn off a high value man.
Yeah.
They're going to see that and they're going to be like, "Ooh, how many dudes have you done this to where you get to brag that you have the world's best?"
Because now you got to see it like you're associated with him, he's associated with you.
Yeah.
So a high value man in those kind of situations, they're not going to want to be associated with somebody who's you can buy their pics for
you can buy their pics on OnlyFans, or you can go on their Instagram and you can see all
because you are
everything.
now a part of his status and a part of his.
Correct.
You represent him in a way.
Well, and I want to debunk something that I've heard the argument from some of the girls that do OnlyFans, that this is a job and I have to do what I have to do to make money.
You don't have to do it.
Our job market right now, there are so many different jobs that you could get.
Dude, they're fucking throwing raises at people now.
Yeah.
They're throwing
Sign-on
bonuses.
You can go work at McDonald's right now for $18 an hour.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that why can't you afford to pay your bills with a job that is not selling pictures of your booty hole online?
This is going to be a hot take, but a girl that works at McDonald's is going to have more high value. Going to have more value than a woman that does OnlyFans.
I think so. I think men who are high quality, high value, who have something, who are looking, if they're not the type of dude who's shallow and vapid, who's just saying, I want the hottest girl I can get. I want the Instagram model, because the dude that I'm talking about, that's his whole goal. He wants to date those girls that have 150,000 followers on Instagram, and he doesn't mind if they post their booty hole online. Doesn't care. Doesn't bother him. I wouldn't necessarily consider him a high quality male. I have friends who are doctors and who are attorneys and who are prominent members of society. If you talk to them, my friend who's a doctor, we had this conversation. I'm like, would you ever, because I did a poll with my guy friends. I'm like, would you ever date seriously or consider marrying a girl who had an OnlyFans account or something like that? And he was like, most of them, because I asked about Feet Finder too, because this is kind of funny. I'm like, okay, what about Feet Finder? And they're like, pictures of your feet, not pictures of your face, not pictures of your butthole, just pictures of your feet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
With your face not in it.
But my friend who's a doctor, he's like, I have ethical obligations in order to continue to work at this hospital. How bad would it be for me to show up with this girl on my arm to a function and have one of the other or a handful of the other doctors be like, I recognize her?
Dude, I could tell you straight up, a girl like walking down the street, I could tell if she has OnlyFans or not. They also dress a certain way.
I mean,
They represent themselves in a certain way. Because that, and what was I going to say?
But to circle back around, I think the reason a lot of guys don't want to date is because women are starting to develop this mentality of, I am high value. I know my worth. I'm not marrying or dating a dude who makes less than 8 figures a year. Like, I'm sorry, but humble yourself first and foremost. And these are the same women who are bitching and complaining that they can't get a good guy.
And just because you make, like, let's say 5 figures a month plus on OnlyFans doesn't make you a 9 or a 10.
But it's the girls that are expecting the dudes to fly them out, pay their bills. Like, they want their cake and they want to eat it too. So these are the type of girls that are saying, okay, I want the dude who makes 8 figures. Well, the dude who makes 8 figures probably doesn't want to invest his time and energy in the girl that sells pictures of her booty hole.
Oh, you're never going to be wife to those men.
No.
Like, you can get flown out numerous times, but you got to know what you are at that point.
And be realistic.
Yeah.
If you are the type of girl who says, I'm 23 and I'm not going to settle for some dude who isn't making 7 figures a year. How many men out there actually make 7 figures a year? How many of those men are single?
6%. Like,
how many of those men are single?
Yep, less than 0.3.
How many of those men are someone that you would probably be attracted to? Now you're at like
less than 0.1.
Now you're at like 0.001, 0.003.
Right, and guess what? Everybody's fighting for that kind of dude.
No, and those dudes don't want a low quality female.
Yeah.
And
they don't want a promiscuous female.
If your only claim to fame is the fact that you think you're attractive and you're gluck, you're not landing that dude.
And that dude is going to he's going to lead that relationship. The guy at that level is going to lead to the relationship. So when you have women that are like, I don't need a man, I'm independent, all this stuff, like literally, and Justin was talking about this before, like, and he's like, I need to lead the relationship because if I tell you to duck and you go, Why do I need a duck? Your head's getting hit by a fucking board. Listen to your fucking man and just do it. Like, because he's always going to have your best interest at heart. And he's going to always want...
Well, as long as you have the type of guy who has your best interest at heart.
And that's up to you to...
That's where screening comes in. But I think, I mean, honestly, and I think I've said this before, I think modern dating's a joke.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to have to learn to date in this type of society.
Dude, dating, ever since COVID, dating's been... just going down the shitter. Like I used to like the
it was on
relationships I was in.
It was on a downhill before COVID, but I don't know what happened. I'll agree with you. Like since then, I think online dating is ruining society because you have that instant gratification, right? And women like that. So when women get on those apps, when I got on them and I had like 99 plus matches in 24 hours, I was like, ew, I don't want to have to go through this now. This is overwhelming. This isn't fun.
I actually had people tell me that they would do it. Like I had to ask my relationship. I was like, why are you on dating apps still? And he's like, I don't know. It just boosts my ego. Like I just like
it's that instant gratification.
Yeah. So it's just the ego thing, and they can't get out of it.
So
like,
the issue is now when they're in a good relationship and maybe their partner isn't giving them all of those positive accolades that they need all the time. They're not telling them, oh, you're so attractive, you're so hot, you're so sexy, I love you so much.
Yeah.
When that stuff starts to fall back, there's that, oh, well, I could download an app real quick and get that boosted right back up.
Yep.
Well, wait until your girlfriend finds out that you're on that app.
But why do women go on it too? Women do it for the exact same reason.
Exactly. Well, or they do it so they can get followers on Instagram.
Yep.
I think that's ridiculous. I know you do that, and I'm not trying to throw shade at you.
I've done
but I think that shit's ridiculous. What's the point of that? What do
Well,
those
it's 'cause
followers
it
gain
works.
you?
It's because it works.
I don't know. I hate online dating. I think it's stupid.
I hate it too. But I mean, I've been like, I used it for, I haven't been on it in weeks, but I've used it for throughout the years. Like just, I've had 2 amazing relationships come out of it, I will say. Both I was with for 2+ years, and they're great people. Like it can work for some people. I just think it's kind of shifted. The reason people are getting it is now shifted. It's more so for people to get that instant gratification.
Or
the
it's
attention.
all the girls on there, girls going,
Yeah,
subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Subscribe
That's
to my
huge.
OnlyFans.
And now it's flipped to actually meeting somebody to just sexualizing somebody.
Yeah.
Now it's not even. I don't know. People don't even know how to have conversations.
I mean, in the week or so that I had the dating apps when I was trying to get content for our podcast when we first got started, the amount of guys, I would say it was over 75% that as we would have a conversation, they'd be like, "Okay, so what's your OnlyFans?"
Oh.
I'm like, "Ew, I don't have an OnlyFans." They're like, "What?" Flabbergasted.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't have an OnlyFans? I'm like, "I don't have an OnlyFans." They're like, "Well, all the hot girls on here have OnlyFans."
Oh my god.
I'm like, okay, so that's disappointing. I used to face the same stuff though when I streamed, when I used to stream
sure.
video games. All the time people would be like, drop the OnlyFans link, drop the OnlyFans link. I'm like, no, I'm not.
I don't have one.
I don't have one. I don't. No shame to the girls that want
Send
to
me
do
money
that.
on Twitch.
But yeah, that's not my vibe. You
not my
want to hang out
platform.
with me? Like, come watch me suck at video games. You
Yeah.
can laugh with
It's
me
like,
or
that's not
at
my
me.
platform.
I don't really care. Everything's fine.
Right.
But I think our culture, women they want to be treated like this precious, delicate object. But they need to understand that in order to get treated like this precious, delicate object, you have to believe and treat yourself.
You have to act like you are.
I forgot to plug my laptop in. I gotta plug it in.
Okay. Well, you have to like act like you are too. So.
Exactly. And I think that's...
Yeah, we're gonna have to. What'd you say? Me.
You would think after doing this for as long as we've done it, oh God, I think, there we go. For doing this as long as we've done it, that I would have remembered and known to just plug my laptop in, but we would be disappointed in me.
Should we talk about how we have haters now?
Do we have haters? Well, you have a hater.
Yeah. I got a Facebook hater.
To be fair, she doesn't hate you. She hated you because the dude that she wants isn't giving her attention, so.
But like, why isn't she hating on you? We're literally around him at the same time. Like,
He hasn't been posting me to his story as much, but I used to get that shit all the time.
damn.
Like, honestly, I can't tell you.
Stop making fake accounts. Say it with your chest.
We have like one
DMs
of
are open.
our best guy friends who we love dearly. But yeah, years ago, like he's one of the slutty dudes. So he's got a constant rotation of females in and out of his life, kind of like a clock, boop, boop, boop. So as he rejects these women or they don't get what they want from him, which is a relationship, because he's not the type of guy that some people are stupid. Like if there's a guy that I'm talking to and he's like, I don't want a serious relationship. I just want something casual. I want someone I can have fun with. I'm not going to invest my time in that person. I'm going to be like, hey, you know what? We don't want the same things and that's fine. Let's just be friends. But like, I'm not going to invest my time and energy in someone that doesn't want what I want.
Exactly.
I'm not going to expect you to give up what you want, which is to have this free, casual, no holds barred, no strings attached relationships. And that's fine. You get to have what you want, but you don't get to have that with me because we don't want the same things.
Right.
So the fact that he doesn't get what I think some girls think that like, again, they think they're a high value female, but they don't have any actual value or substance to back it up.
Yeah, they're like just self-proclaimed
Yeah.
high value. Like, no, that's not
I
the
am
case.
high
Because when
value.
you're a booty
I know that I'm
call-
going to beat everyone else that you're talking to. Okay, but why?
And guess what? Like, you've already proved to him that you will show up for booty calls.
Yeah.
So that's what he thinks you are.
Yeah.
And that's how he's going to treat you. Because
Absolutely.
you don't respect yourself in a way to
Correct.
set that boundary. So
Why does he have to respect you any more than that when you don't require him to?
Exactly.
So I've gotten that for years though from the girls that get rejected by him and are just like, well, fuck you and your fat friend or like whatever else
Yeah,
they
it's
want to
just
say
so
about me. I'm like,
crazy.
I'm not fat. Whatever. Say what you
Yeah.
want to say. Your
Yeah.
feelings are hurt. You're lashing out. It's okay, sweetheart.
Oh, your feelings are hurt.
I wish you the best. I'm so sorry that this boy hurt your feelings, but maybe when a dude tells you he doesn't want a serious relationship, listen and believe him, because you're not going to change his mind.
Facts.
So
Facts. What are
I'm
we at?
sorry that your hater hurt your feelings, though.
Can we talk about one more topic that
Yeah.
I thought about? So we were talking about this one day at the mall. Remember? We walked by Victoria's Secret.
Oh,
We were talking about their campaigns. So I was listening to a
this
podcast.
is going to get me in trouble. I'm going to get canceled.
No, you're not. A lot of people are talking about this. A lot of people are saying this. So Victoria's Secret, and you know how, so I'm going to relate it to American Eagle and like Aerie or whatever, right?
Okay.
They do the all-inclusive, like plus size models, middle ground,
Yeah, they
skinny
make
girls.
clothes that fit
And
everybody.
I love their campaign. I think it really
Yeah.
works for their brand.
Yeah.
Their brand image, that's beautiful.
Their brand image, though, is all
Yeah.
inclusive, right? So,
All
like,
inclusive.
we make clothes to fit bodies.
Right. So now with Victoria's Secret, they actually canceled the Victoria's Secret shows because they get so much hate about the fact that these women are super skinny and there's no plus size women in them. You gotta understand, Victoria's Secret's branding, their brand has always been the skinny women.
Yeah.
That's how it is. That's how the Victoria's Secret shows is just a huge brand, like,
Absolutely.
campaign thing that they do every single year.
Well,
or
so
whatever.
I think
That's
I
what
told
everybody
you.
looks forward to seeing.
Exactly.
And so once you build a brand off of that, it's not an inclusive brand.
No, you've built
That's
your
not
brand
what
off
it's
of the fact that
it's strictly branding. It's nothing against, they make sizes for you. So like now, but they didn't before.
Well, so I worked at Victoria's Secret when I was in college.
Yeah.
So we did not have a bra that went past a 40 or like
Oh,
40
yeah.
or 42. So like, but like,
Yeah, bust.
no, it's your, I guess it's, well, I thought this was your bust.
That is your bust.
So it's your band size.
Yeah.
Whatever
we'll
your
say
band
that.
size is,
Yeah,
we're going to say the band size. So we didn't have a band size that went past like 40 or 42 inches. So a little while after working there, we got these extenders. So you could get another like couple of inches, like this much. So what is that? About 4 inches?
So people had to buy extenders?
So they could, but you could buy one extender. Really only one extender worked. And it was just an extra little like clip. So we could clip them in. But if they were bigger than that,
SOL.
I was the type of person, I just want to be helpful.
Yeah.
I am incredibly naive at
I just
times.
work here.
Well, I'm incredibly naive at times. Yeah, I don't make the rules. I just
Yeah.
work here. So when I would have girls that I could tell are like on the line, and after working there for a while, like I still have it to this day. I could tell you what your bra size is just by looking at your boobs. Like
What's mine?
it's a skill that I still have. You're like a 34D. Well, I don't know. If you wear,
That's pretty close. I get C's, but
If you wear-
if it's padded, I'll get a D.
that's what I was going to say. If you wear padding, like a padded bra, it can be a little difficult.
Yeah.
But I was like the best at like fitting women for bras. They could walk in and usually I'd be like, okay, are you a ba 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 or ba ba ba? And they'd be like, yeah, how'd you know that? Or sometimes they would say, I
Bet
don't
you
really
work here.
know. Or they would tell me, no, I'm not that. And I'm like, I think you are. Do you want to get measured?
Right.
Because like we can measure you. Because if you're spending $60 on a bra, $80 on a bra,
You better be right.
I want to make sure that that bra fits you like, mwah, chef's kiss, right?
Yep.
So when we would have larger women come in and we went up to like a triple D, that was it. And mind you, the cute bras go to a double D. The not so cute bras are the ones that get bigger. So when we would have larger women come in, that would be wanting to get a bra. If I would look at them and I can see they're 46, we're not going to have the cute bras for them. They deserve to get to wear cute bras.
Yeah.
They do. So I would say, hey, I don't think we're going to be a fit for you. Because why waste their time? Why have them
Yeah.
go to the fitting rooms? Why have that emotional breakdown and that emotional moment? And I would typically say, we have a Soma, a Lane Bryant, and a Dillard's in the mall, like within walking distance. So I would typically say, hey, I don't think we're going to be a great fit for you, but we have these 3 options because I'm dumb and
Yeah.
I just want to be
And
helpful.
I'm
The
also-
amount of women that threaten to beat me to death, like
Really?
having women when you're just like, hey, I'm so sorry, but I don't think we're going to have anything that fits you.
Yeah.
But here's some other options for you. I guess the fact that I would typically mention Lane Bryant, which was historically, and I should probably say this was 10 years ago, but Lane Bryant is historically a plus-sized women's store. So having plus-sized women, like this was before I think body positivity became a better thing.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, I think Lane Bryant might be a better fit because they have pretty bras that will fit you.
Yeah.
Why are you going to try to squeeze your boobs into something that's not going to make you feel confident? You're not going to feel good about yourself. And honestly, if you want to wear and the whole idea of the Victoria's Secret line is if you want to wear it, you have to fit in it.
Yep. And I was talking like also just on like branding because that's just been their image for so long. And how are you going to shame? Because, you know, like body positivity is actually aimed towards the larger women. The positivity part of it is aimed towards larger women to help them feel better about themselves. Now,
well, and they don't have a problem hating on very athletic or skinny women.
That's what I'm saying. They hate on skinny women all the time, and they're hating on how skinny these women are in the Victoria's Secret shows. But do you know how hard those women work for their bodies?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, how dare you?
It's a full-time job.
How dare you are going to shit on Victoria's Secret for wanting to keep this branding image and run with it still because it's worked.
Well, what's crazy
years.
to me, our society will accept people telling a girl to go eat a cheeseburger or go feed yourself or stop throwing up, like stop
promoting yourself when you're going to the gym. And
correct. So having this girl that has
saying you look like a man because you're fit, like all this stuff. So
over muscular, over muscles, those biceps. It definitely looks like a dude. No, this is a female who has a low body fat percentage from working her ass off to take care of herself. But how ridiculous is it that people like? I think if you took a poll, more people would think it's okay to tell a very skinny woman or a very athletic woman to go eat a cheeseburger or to go eat a pizza, go feed yourself, eat something, than to tell people to go on a diet.
Yep.
And I know it happens both ways because I know there are the larger women who like put content out on the web promoting themselves, and people are like, oh, look at the cow, go, you need to stop eating.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going to be this person to say it, and I'm sorry. When you put shit out on the internet, you're opening it up to the haters.
The floodgates. Like, it's literally just, you got to accept it.
And stop getting mad, right? Like, if I post a picture of myself.
Or do something about it.
On my Instagram, or I post something on my Instagram, I am putting our podcast. We get a lot of mean-ass comments on our podcast. And you know what? We put our podcast out there.
Yep.
We did this with the expectation and the understanding. Emma's probably going to have people pick on her for whatever they want to pick on her for. And I'm going to have people pick on me for talking stupid. What is it that I said? That
I don't know. They just, like, come for your throat on TikTok.
Everyone hates me on TikTok.
Man, they be coming after me, too, though, lately. But, like, again, like you said, we have to accept mean comments. Well, the difference is
I'm allowed to have my feelings get hurt when you post TikToks of me and people throw me under the bus. You can't get your feelings hurt if you post TikToks and people throw you under the bus.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't give a shit. Like, half the people are like bots and
those basement warriors.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a TikTok I deleted the other day because someone I really respected on the app was like, "Nassus, this ain't it." And I was like, Okay. Yeah, I was like, I trust your comment and your judgment. It probably wasn't the best, so I deleted that one. But
well, and that's the difference in someone who loves you coming to you and saying, "Hey, sweetheart, all love, but I don't think this is the best thing you put out."
It's actually like an influencer on there that I look up to. Yeah. That kind of runs the same content.
Yeah. So when you have someone that reaches out to you and say, "Hey, queen, this isn't it."
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
absolutely.
You got it.
Because it's coming from a place of love and support. They're not trying to see you fail. They're not trying to make you feel bad about yourself. They're trying to help you.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Well, anything else you want to talk about? Because we are needing to wrap.
Yeah, this was a good one.
This was a good week. So I want to hear from people that like listen to our episode because I'd like to bring it up again next week. If you're anti-dating, why are you anti-dating?
Yeah. And then we can talk about the pros and cons of being single. Because we did want to talk
being in
about
a relationship.
Yes.
I think that'll be kind of a fun one. You can do the...
Oh, yeah. Or the pros of being single.
Yeah, and I can do the ones being in a relationship.
Yeah, there are a lot of
The biggest one is I don't have to do online dating anymore. I don't have to do modern dating. You're trapped, bitch. You're stuck with me.
My thing is I have all the time for myself. The only negative is you just don't have the loving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get the, like, support and best friend out of a
You don't get to share your life with someone. But you can go travel whenever you want.
Yeah, but I could also be in a relationship you can come with.
True.
That's my goal is
It's a
to
little
travel with
difficult
somebody.
though for me because like my partner, his job, he can't just skip off. Like
Yeah,
there's
so that's the thing.
planning
Like
that has to be done.
I'm like down to like I got like 10% of people I can actually find that have
Yeah.
career or that I guess entrepreneurs I can
yeah.
whatever. Hit
Good
me
luck.
up. Hit me up. All right, so
Good
we
luck.
are on TikTok at we're on TikTok at the Pink Flag Pod. You can actually go to my TikTok too, Emma Knudsen 4. I post most of them on there.
I don't post anything on my TikTok. Don't follow it.
Most of our posts are through like our personal accounts. Really, we don't run, but if you want to, you can still follow us on Instagram. It's at the Pink Flag Pod.
We post to our Instagram
sometimes.
more regularly.
Sometimes when we remember. I'm gonna start doing that thing where whenever I post like on my personal that has anything to do with it, I'm just gonna like partner with
There you go.
collab with our account, so it goes right on there. So hack for all you business owners. That's a hack.
Yeah, you can now
but-
collab shit.
Yeah, but yeah. So we're also obviously on Twitch. If y'all have been watching us, thank you
Twitch,
very
we're on
much.
Spotify, YouTube, Podchaser.
Twitch will also have extra content too
Audible.
before we start recording, and sometimes after if we have good
Yeah.
conversation being facilitated. So definitely check in with the
Definitely
Twitch.
follow us on Twitch. That's usually when we.
I need to do better at advertising that, not 5 minutes before we start. But for those that
It
have
would
shown
help
up,
when the schedule gets hammered down that we know which day of the week we're recording.
we still got a good amount of people today. All right, guys.
Thanks everyone
Thank you
that
so
have
much.
watched. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Okay.